Okay, so today is the 17th of January and we have just started our first day of online learning due to staff testing positive at the school. We've had to close face-to-face learning and switch to online, and so that's kind of where we are. I'll show you what we've been up to and what we've got planned, and maybe you'll join me for my week of online learning. So far this morning we've had a circle time lesson, a phonics lesson and a maths lesson. The schedule that we're kind of sticking to is circle time at 9 till 9:20 with some time then for an activity, then phonics from 10 till 10:20 with time for them to complete an activity, then maths from 11 till 11:20 with time for them to complete an activity, then 12 till 2 is time for lunch, nap, specialist lessons, whatever else they need to do, but to give them a bit of a break. Then 2 till 2:20 is going to be our IEYC, or our topic lesson, with time then for them to do an activity, and then 3 till 3:20 is going to be story time and saying goodbye. So that'll be our end of day routine. It's gone alright so far. We had some technical difficulties in our circle time session first thing this morning, but they seem to have been resolved. On top of that, we have some personnel issues. So all of our learning packs were prepared on Friday and left at the guard station for parents to collect, but the guards have not been giving the correct packs to the correct families, and so when I asked my children to pull out their learning activities for our sessions this morning, they didn't have the correct resources. They had resources from somebody else's class. So that's been fun. All of these kinks to iron out. It's only day one. Originally we put out to parents to say that we would only be online Monday, Tuesday with a review as to whether or not we could return on Wednesday. It's now been decided that we will be online for the rest of this week, but that has not yet been sent out to parents, so I can't post to my class dojo. So yeah, it's been okay so far, but attendance has been pretty low, which worries me because obviously if they're not attending the lesson, then they're not learning the material, and we're not going to have time to make it up later on. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll, now that they know that it's not just 2 days, or when they do know that it's not just 2 days, I'm hoping that they'll make the effort to join the online lessons. So what I'm trying to do is keep our routine as normal as usual. So this morning for my circle time, I had my chair here with my MacBook on top of the tables here, so that we could still do our calendar and our weather as normal. And then for the rest of the day I've been sat here, so I had both of my screens, could access my email and my schedule and my class dojo and YouTube and all that good stuff. And we're actually using Zoom to teach. So I send all of my Zoom links out on class dojo, and then they just join with the link, and that's been nice and easy. And I actually record the session and then I upload that to my YouTube channel, and then that gets sent out to the parents for the ones that didn't actually attend. And then in terms of activities, so today is the start of our week. Obviously it's Monday. So for our phonics we introduced letter U. We did our Jolly Phonics story and song, and then we did like a little sorting activity on a PowerPoint that I'd prepared, and talked about things that started with the sound. And then at the end of our 20-minute session, I asked them to pull out this activity, so they have to colour in all the sounds hands on the umbrellas. And then we went into our math session, which this week we're talking about longer and shorter. So first, again, we did some recap of counting forwards and backwards, 1 to 10. There you go, it's finally focused. And representations of 6, 7 and 8, writing 6, 7 and 8, and then we ordered characters. So if I'd been in class, what I was going to do was order the children in height from shortest to tallest, but instead I had some like clip art children on my PowerPoint, and we've ordered them from shortest to tallest. And then I sent the majority of the children away. So I have 3 groups for phonics and 3 groups for maths. So I was going to keep my group 2 to do this activity with me, but I only had one child from group 2 that was actually online, and she was one of the children that had been given the wrong activity pack, so she didn't have this anyway. But this was going to be the activity that I was going to do with her this morning. And then the other children, I told them that they could complete the number formation activity, which was put in as additional work. But I don't want their parents to think that they don't have an activity to do between the 11:20 and 12 o'clock time frame. So I made sure that there was enough for the days that if they were not in the group that I was working with directly that day, they had something to do. And then what we're going to do this afternoon for our IEYC topic, which is Once Upon a Time. So this week our story is The Three Billy Goats Gruff. So we're going to read the story of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and then they're going to have this worksheet with vocabulary words to colour in. And then at 3 o'clock I'm going to read them a story. I could choose that story now. I might read... What might I read? I might read... You Choose, because I feel like that fits in quite nicely with our topic. So I'll read You Choose for our story time today, and that will be all of my sessions. Okay, so I'm having some serious technical difficulties today. I just tried to teach my IEYC topic lesson, and I only had one student in the class, and I finished the lesson and I got a message from my TA saying that she couldn't get into the class. It said that it had already started, or she was already in the conference or something, I don't know. But I'm worried that my other parents also got that same message that it wouldn't let them in. And I don't know why that is, because I have the waiting room enabled. I haven't had this problem with any of my other lessons today. But it's just something else to contend with, the joys of online learning. Otherwise, the class went fine. We shared the story of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and I asked some questions about setting and character, because that's what we started learning last week. And then I shared a YouTube video of a song about the Three Billy Goats Gruff story, and I'll share the link with that along with the video that I'm currently uploading. So hopefully my other kids can still take part in that lesson, even though they couldn't join it live with me. But it ended much quicker than I had anticipated, because I was expecting to have more kids in the class to be able to chat to, and that didn't happen. But I only have one session left for today, and I've changed my mind about the book. I'm going to read Mixed Up Fairy Tales, because that definitely fits in with our topic, and I think it will be easier than having all the kids shouting out for all the options for You Choose. So Mixed Up Fairy Tales, that's what we're going with. Hello, it's Wednesday. did not vlog yesterday, did not have time, it was very busy. What am I doing? And I've been working from home the last 2 days after a minor disagreement. So it's gone really well though. It's actually gone better than the first day that I taught from school. It's now about lunchtime, so I've already taught circle time, phonics and maths for this morning. This afternoon we're going to have our IUIC topic lesson, and then instead of the story time they're going to have a live PE lesson with the PE teacher. I'm just uploading my maths video to YouTube so that I can share the link with all of the kids that were not in the live class, not having great attendance. I think 5 has kind of been the most, so half. I have 10 kids, so yeah, it's not the best. Let me show you what we've been doing today. Will be their own sequencing activity, so they will cut out the pictures and stick them in the spaces on the story map to sequence the story, and I think they should be okay with that because they know the story pretty well now, and they covered it last year actually as well, so yeah, they should be okay. But once I've taught this lesson, I'll go in, cut these out, fill them in, take a photo again to send to the parents at the end of the day to show them so they can check if the children did it right. My parents haven't been great at sending photos of the children's work to me, so I don't know if it's actually getting completed or if it's right or wrong, or so yeah, that's been helpful. So I'm just going to finish sharing this video from my maths lesson onto Class Dojo, and then I'm going to go and eat some lunch and maybe go for a walk to try and get some steps in because I'm not doing great today. We started out the day with our calendar, talked about days of the week, months of the year, the date and the weather. Then we moved on to phonics. We're learning the sound this week. So for one of my groups, this was the activity for today. I'm not doing activities with every group every day. So my group 1 today had this cut and stick activity to make the words using the raindrops, stick them over the umbrellas to make the word that matched the picture. There were 2 parts. I'm not expecting them to do this part, that's a little bit too challenging for them at the moment. And then in maths we've been doing short and tall. So my group 3 had this sequencing activity to do to cut and stick the flowers in order from shortest to tallest. So once I've shared the activity with them in the lesson, I don't actually do it with them. So I do a 20-minute input where I'm live with them. We go through a PowerPoint, we do activities, we sing some songs. I try to find a story that links with each lesson, so I read a story. Highly recommend Epic books, by the way. They've been essential to my online lessons this time around. And then we have about 40 minutes in between each lesson so they can get up, move around, have a break, do the activity that I've assigned. So as you can see in that break then I actually do the activity so that I can send the picture to the parents of the completed activity at the end of the day and show them what the answers were in case they're not sure, because not all of my parents speak English. And then this afternoon, my IUIC lesson, we're going to be talking about the story of the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. I'm going to be doing sequencing on the wall with them as my activity after I've read the story again, because we've read it every day so far this week. And then the activity that they will do on their own afterwards. Okay, so it's 10 to 2 and I'm just getting ready for teaching my IUIC topic lesson. As you can see, we're going to do the sequencing activity, and I've had to rearrange the office so that they can see that, the things we do, eh? And then after the lesson, they're going to do that story map activity that I showed you this morning. I've had a lunch break, but I haven't had lunch. I've been working on a whole school phonics plan for next year that hopefully will prove useful. If so, it will be on my TPT and TED store soon. Watch this space. But yeah, I'm going to try and set you up so that maybe you can see a part of this lesson. I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
There was only one bridge across the river, and underneath there lived a terrible, grumpy troll. He never let anyone cross the bridge. He always gobbled them up for breakfast. The 3 goats made a plan. The smallest Billy Goat Gruff was the first to try and cross the bridge. Trip, trap, went his hooves as he walked across the bridge. So we have the smallest goat in this version of the story is the white one. Tries to cross the bridge, but the troll says, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" And what does the smallest Billy Goat Gruff say? "Don't eat me, I'm too small. Wait for my brother." So what does the troll do? Wait, that's right. He lets the small Billy Goat Gruff cross the bridge. Okay, so this one has to go next. Okay, now I have this picture with the orange goat crossing the bridge. Where does this one come? So I have the one where the troll is letting the orange goat cross the bridge, or when the orange goat starts to cross the bridge. Which one comes first?
Small one.
The small one, yeah. Okay, so the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff tries to cross the bridge next, but the troll comes and says, "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" Yeah, he stops the goat, says, "No, you cannot go past." And what does the goat say? Does the troll eat the goat?
Yes.
He does? He eats the medium? No. He says he's gonna wait for the big. The brother, that's right, for the big Billy Goat Gruff. So then, which one is next? 1 or 2? One, yes. The big Billy Goat Gruff comes to cross the bridge. And what does the troll say? What does the troll say, Keta? "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" Does he let the big Billy Goat go? Does he let him go? No. He says, "I'm going to eat you up." And what does the big Billy Goat say? "You're not gonna eat me." And he butts the troll into the river. Boom. And then the 3 Billy Goats Gruff cross the bridge to the other side and eat the sweet green grass. The end. Is the story in the right order now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, shall we check? Let's see if we can tell the story.
Little Billy Goat Gruff came across a waterfall. I'm gonna gobble you up, said the troll. No, 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 don't eat me. I'm too tiny, can't you see? Please don't be hasty, my brother's very tasty. Alright, off you go then. Little Billy Goat Gruff came across the waterfall. I'm gonna gobble you up.
Hello, and as if by magic, it's Friday. When I last left you, we had gone out for food on Wednesday evening for my husband's birthday, and Thursday disappeared in the blink of an eye, and today has been a roller coaster ride. It's already 20 to 2. I have another class at 2 o'clock. So let me fill you in on what's happening. Last night we got an email to say that we would probably be learning face-to-face next week, and that all staff should come into school today to work from school because they were arranging for testing, all staff to have PCR tests ready for next week. And so I went to bed with all my stuff packed and ready to come to school, fully prepared to prepare for face-to-face learning next week. I woke up this morning and had a message from my colleague who said, back to online learning, bah! So I checked my email, and sure enough, at like 11:15 last night, our principal had sent out an email to all staff saying that the government had decided that all schools must remain closed. It sounds like local schools are going to be closed for the next month, until nearly the end of February. And so that's kind of what we're working on at the moment. However, so the news was you're welcome to come to school or welcome to work from home. Well, I've come to school because I needed to prepare more learning resource packs for my class for next week if we're going to be online. However, having been at school all day today, it sounds like the local government and private kindergartens are still open and are not subject to the government quarantine closures. So the chances are that we could be open next week for pre-nursery, nursery reception, year 1 and year 2, because compulsory school age here is 7, and so it would only affect our year 3 and above. However, the principal has sent out an email to parents today to say we'll be online, blah 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 blah. I've prepared all the resource packs for us being online. I have now not prepared any materials for us being face to face, and none of the staff have been PCR tested. So if they do decide we're going to open on Monday, we're going to have some problems. So yeah, and I've just heard the similar story from my friend's school. They were preparing to go face to face next week, and then their local government has just decided that they also have to remain online. COVID isn't dead, people. COVID isn't dead. So Oh, and on top of that, I already had to change my schedule this morning because the library teacher decided that she was going to teach a library session this afternoon. So I sent out an updated schedule to my parents with the link for the library lesson and the link for the Russian lesson, and now the library teacher said she got vaccinated yesterday, has a hyper temperature, and won't be able to teach the lesson. So now I have to pick up that at short notice. It's a good day, guys. It's a really good day. Okay, it's now 4:15. I am finished for the day, and it looks like we're going to be back at school on Monday. I've just had my PCR test, so all being well, I'll be back face to face with the kids on Monday. I am taking everything home with me just in case anything changes, because these last 24 hours have been a roller coaster ride. But I'm going home now to enjoy my Friday evening, and albeit a very piecemeal and jumpy one, that has been a week in the life of a kindergarten teacher teaching online, and it has been accurate, folks. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye.